As you've probably guessed, Transparent Labs has been a favorite for reviewers for good reasons. One of the reasons is that they've been doing fully disclosed labels, naturally sweetened and naturally used ingredients in the other ingredients section. They're one of the few companies that's been doing that for more than 10 years. So at their time, like no one else was doing what they were doing, and I think they were well ahead of their time. But now I've got 2 of their whey isolates in 2 different flavors, but essentially the same protein, whey isolate, and it's supposed to be good. But how good? We're gonna find out, because I don't like naturally, some products that go for that organic look with the natural ingredients and natural flavoring, it always tastes bad in some way or another. And most of the time it just has a mixture of bad texture and bad flavoring. But I think this is different. Like, I've used this a few times already, and I want to use it right now in front of you and describe the taste to you. But when it comes to like the best tasting naturally made whey isolates, like without using artificial sweeteners and stuff, this is going to be the one to go to. Like, there's no other protein powder that does it as well as they do when it comes to the natural stuff. Like, this is from grass-fed cows. It doesn't really matter that much it's from those cows, but there used to be a time when they were using New Zealand cows. They were using New Zealand grass-fed cows, but they stopped doing that. I don't know why, maybe because of COVID, but now they're using American cows, still grass-fed cows nonetheless. So I have here oatmeal chocolate chip cookie and cinnamon French toast. So both of these are really good. Like the French cinnamon toast, I'm gonna describe it when I get to it, but I'm gonna put it in these cups, just the old-fashioned way, put it with a fork and then blend it with a fork. And we're not gonna use a blender, I'm just gonna put it straight in there. 1 scoop of oatmeal chocolate chip cookie in front of me right there. And then French cinnamon toast in the other side. So now I'm gonna add water to these cups, not milk. That gives it an even harder way to judge flavor, because milk has sugar, or it just makes things better in some way. Milk has thickness, but I'm gonna use water. So therefore, if you do add milk or almond milk or any kind of milk that makes it more smooth, that'll probably make it better. But with water, that's like the real question, because if you can mix it well with water and it tastes good, it's gonna taste even better in shakes and stuff. But most people, most of the time, are not gonna use shakers or blenders, I should say, and take, it takes more time to blend ingredients together. So it might be more straightforward just to do it like this anyway for the review. But I'll be right back and put some water in these cups. Okay, now I'm back with the water in these cups. I have stirred the cinnamon French toast a little bit for like 2 seconds, not even. And it already looks like it's blended together. But let's not forget, cinnamon French toast and oatmeal chocolate chip. How does it taste in water? Let's find out. Let me put those there. All right. I had the cinnamon French toast recently, so I'm gonna start off with the oatmeal chocolate chip. It's probably smarter that way. There's like 1 or 2 chunks, that's not being blended in, but I don't usually care. I just usually drink it because that clump of protein is just pure flavor. Who doesn't like that part? But there's nothing at the bottom, I don't think. So let's see how it tastes. So there's like a really strong presence of oatmeal in like the first couple seconds, and then after consuming it, it just feels like, oh shit, there's chocolate chip flavor as well. Like oatmeal is like the first thing. It does taste like a cookie. So it's like oatmeal cookies with chocolate as an afterthought, like that, something like that. But taste, if you blindfolded someone and put this beside something that's artificially sweetened, they would have trouble guessing which one is artificially sweetened and which one's naturally sweetened, I think, depending on the product. But this is like, I have had many health conscious type of proteins. There was always a problem with it. There was always something that was like a downside to it. But Transparent Labs has done really well with flavor. Like, they've improved over the past 10 years, and they've been well ahead of the game when it comes to quality and labels. And of course flavors, but cinnamon French toast. So it's interesting. if you put like, it's like having maple syrup sugar, the cinnamon French toast flavor. If I didn't know that this was cinnamon French toast, I would have guessed it was like maple syrup flavored or something. There's like a really strong sense of like sweetness in the beginning, and they don't add sugar. There's 1 gram of sugar, but there's nothing artificial. There's nothing artificial in these, and there's no way, right? Like for me, it's 120 calories per serving. So which one is better is super hard to say, because this is super sweet and this is like an oatmeal cookie. So if you're like, I want something super sweet, then cinnamon French toast is a good option over the oatmeal chocolate chip, because the oatmeal chocolate chip, it's like chocolate flavored and there's oatmeal flavor at the beginning, but it's not sweet. Let me have it again. Like I want to say one is thicker than the other, but they're both essentially the same. But the cinnamon French toast is super sweet. It's super good. But over the long run, like on a daily basis, I would prefer to have the oatmeal chocolate chip. So if you're like looking for something on a daily, regular use, like unless you have a crazy craving for sugar, then I recommend going for the oatmeal chocolate chip. But if you have a craving for sugar, like you have insane craving every day, then you can do a lot more things with the cinnamon French toast. You can squash your cravings with only 120 calories per serving, per scoop, and have 28 grams of protein, 1 gram of carb. That's crazy. That's crazy. So total carbs in the cinnamon French toast, 1 gram, and then oatmeal chocolate chip is 2 grams. So that's interesting. It has more carbs, but it's more sweet. Excuse me. So let's talk about the macros, the ingredients for a second, because I skipped that part. This is just going to be like a protein review of the flavor. Whether it works or not, it's protein powder. I usually do like pre-workout reviews. This is probably the first time I've done a protein powder review. I've always thought of it as something challenging. It's not part of my review routine, I should say, because protein powders, they're straightforward. The only difference is the flavoring. Like you care more about flavor with protein shakes. At least that's what most people think. So let's talk about the macros for a second, because I didn't go over that. So the first thing, calories, 120. Total fat, 0.5 gram. And this is all per scoop, by the way, per serving. Sodium, 280 milligrams, 12%. That's kind of high, but you got to make up for that to have better flavoring, I guess. Total carbs, 1 gram. Protein, 28. So that's a pretty good macros right there. No, like barely any fat, barely any carbs, 120 calories and 28 grams of protein. That's like dessert right there without the calories. If you wanted to bake, I would recommend getting the casein protein of Transparent Labs, because the flavor is going to be the same if they have these flavors for casein. Because with casein protein can absorb more water, so therefore it becomes a lot more tasty when you're making it into a dessert. With other whey proteins, it's more dry. That's why protein bars struggle with the texture, because it's just like really, really dry. But that was the ingredient label, a lot more straightforward than a pre-workout. Am I right? But this is definitely a lot more salty, because how much does the cinnamon French toast have? Oh, the same amount of sodium. That's interesting. It's not as sweet. Like the oatmeal chocolate chip cookie, it's not as sweet, but it's super filling. Like I usually have a meal by now, but instead of having these protein shakes, because I just came back from the gym, I usually don't eat anything. And then at 3 or 4, well now it's like 6 p.m. I haven't eaten anything yet. And so these are pretty satisfying, and it's filling. Although it doesn't have whey concentrate, isolate is supposed to be faster digesting, but for me, it doesn't matter. Whey isolate, whey concentrate, it lasts like just as long. Maybe because I put oatmeal in my shakes, and oatmeal has fiber, which slows down the digestion. And if you have an apple as well, that also can slow down digestion. So I don't know what it is. Like, I guess if you're just having a protein powder by itself without adding any other ingredients, then maybe you'll feel hungry quicker. But if you wanted to make like a mass shake gainer with these, you could. You don't need to buy a mass gainer. So all you got to do is, add in a handful of nuts, peanut butter, to one of these flavors to add the calories. And with that, like with oatmeal as well, you could probably make it to at least 500 calories depending on how much you put in there. And then you have the berries and stuff you can add in, the fruits into the shake. But that's how you make it into like a mass gainer. You don't need to buy a mass gainer. Whey Isolate. But which one would I pick if I had to pick one right now? Cinnamon French toast is tasty, but the oatmeal chocolate chip cookie one flavor is more satisfying. So it's kind of like comparing, I don't know, a healthy cookie versus dessert with sugar. That's what the cinnamon French toast tastes like. But right now I'm having like 240 calories, so I guess it makes sense that I would feel, full and satisfied almost. But I'm sure I'll be hungry for a meal soon after. So 120 calories, good tasting. I like it. If you were to put a blindfold on someone and had them try these protein shakes from Transparent Labs, they would not be able to tell you that it's naturally sweetened. It's that good. Like, I promise you. I'm not the one to talk about flavors for pre-workouts, because for pre-workouts you're just consuming it real quick to go to the gym. With protein powders, it's gotta taste good. At least in this day and age, because flavoring has come so far in protein powders. So back then, 10 years ago, if I reviewed these, I would probably tell you they taste really bad. And I remember Transparent Labs back in the day. They improved a ton. They like, by the time I published this video, they probably did something in the flavoring department. They probably added an ingredient, made it taste better. They know, they're the masters of like the natural, but good tasting and good formulated supplements. Everything they make, like there's nothing that I don't like, unless we're talking about, their pre-workout, which has a ton of theanine, which isn't, for everyone, but it makes you more relaxed and in the zone, and you won't have jitters. But Bulk Black is another story. But back to these protein powders, pretty good. Use my discount code FitFrick. You would have trouble differentiating. You would have trouble telling the difference between this and a artificially sweetened protein powder. Like, you're gonna be like, even you might even like this more than your artificial sweetened protein powders. I prefer it when protein powders have natural ingredients, because like we live in an age where it's like so easy to eat processed foods. So at least like with protein powders, we're trying to be more health conscious. But not only that, but make it enjoyable and everything. But use my coupon code FitFrick if you're looking for the strongest pre-workouts. I am the go-to guy for that. Check the links in the description. And for these protein powders, check the links in the description. Use my coupon code. If you're having trouble deciding between the two, cinnamon French toast, sweet and tastes like maple syrup. And then like the afterthought is like, oh, okay, that's cinnamon French toast. It's not like a mixture of chemicals that's hitting you all at once, and it's all natural too. And then oatmeal chocolate chip cookie tastes like oatmeal, and then there's like the chocolate flavor, and then there's like the cookie like afterthought. So it's like oatmeal first, but it tastes good. I like the oatmeal one because like I'm used to eating oatmeal anyway, so I don't have a problem with the flavor. And I love oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. They're bomb. I think they're really good. But yeah, so I hope this helps. You can't go wrong with vanilla, their basic flavors. If you want something exotic though, like sweet, then cinnamon French toast. If you're looking for something enjoyable, everyday type of use, oatmeal chocolate chip cookie. And all the other flavors are dependable. They're good. I don't have any complaints about any of them. But these two are like the newest, I believe. And thank you for watching.